What's up, guys? I'm Alan with Edge Autosport, and we don't feature a lot of Volkswagens on the channel, but I wanted to showcase this one because it's got a lot of really cool parts, and also we do tune Volkswagens. Who'd have thunk it? So about those cool parts, we got APR, CTS, EQT, and it is set up to make power, basically. So from EQT, we've got the turbo. It's a Vortex standard frame turbo from EQT with the IE downpipe. We've got APR ignition coils, Denso two-step holder plugs. We've got the CTS turbo intake. We've got the CTS turbo MPI setup with the 980cc injectors, and in the tank we have a RS3 fuel pump setup. We also have the EQT 5-bar, 4-bar map sensor combo, and that's going to allow us to run more boost than what the stock map sensors can see, although being that we are on 91 octane, I don't expect we'll quite go past that stock map sensor limit today. But still, it's good to have for the future when this car comes back for an E85 tune. Now from APR, we have their catch can setup. This thing is pretty sweet. It is a very clean looking setup, and is going to help filter out some of that blow-by gas and everything that you get in these cars. And I think that just about covers the power. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. We do have an upgraded front mount intercooler, so the added cooler here, and it's no longer using the sandwich cooler. And then we also have upgraded motor mounts. So that just about covers the modifications, and now we need to get in it and do the baseline pull running just a conservative base map that I sent him to get him to the dyno, and see where we're at and turn it up from there. Okay, with first pull out of the way, just a simple baseline. I cut it short because, you know, no reason to keep going. I just needed to kind of see where boost was coming in and make sure nothing crazy was going on. So now we need to turn it up a little bit and make sure that everything's responding like it should. And as long as everything's good, then we're going to turn on the MPI and go from there. Okay, so with the MPI still turned off, we bumped it up a little bit, and I think it's running about 24 pounds on this map. We hit 362 horsepower and 346 foot-pounds of torque, and so things are looking good. I'm going to turn on the MPI now, and we're going to crank it up from there. Alright, so MPI is working. That's one of the biggest concerns I have is that everything's installed correctly with MPI and wired in properly, and from what I can tell, once I turned it on and set it all up in the tune, everything seems to be working properly right now, and I think we are good to crank up the boost and start making some more power. On that last pull, as I'll show you on the screen here, it did 377 horsepower and 359 foot-pounds of torque, and we are going to get boost up some more and probably do a few more pulls, and then we will see if we can't make a little more power. Okay, so that's going to wrap this tune up. We ended at 386 foot-pounds of torque, 416 wheel horsepower, and that's going to be all she's got on 91 octane. We're sitting at about 28 pounds of boost, 28.5 pounds of boost. That is not maxing out the map sensors. The factory map sensors will read that high, but We're on 91 octane, so there's only so much we can get away with up here. But when he comes back with E85, we are going to be able to turn it up some more. There is still room with this turbo for more boost, and we'll be able to run more, make more power, make more torque. For funsies, I thought I'd show you guys kind of a comparison here between a stock turbo GTI tune that I did a while back and this Vortex turbo. So the stock turbo, and actually I do believe this was on an ethanol blend, made 363 foot-pounds of torque, 307 wheel horsepower, and as you can see, the stock turbo spools a bit faster than the Vortex, but it's only by about 800 RPM, so it's not a massive difference. You will notice on this turbo it's not as peppy and as aggressive feeling down low as the stock setup, but it really doesn't matter because when you put your foot in it and it just holds you in your seat, I mean, you can't beat that feeling. This thing just climbs all the way up top. As you can see, peak power up at 6,500 or near 6,500 RPMs. This thing's still pulling, and it is just miles better up top than the stock turbo. In fact, it's over 100 horsepower gain, which is awesome, especially for 91 octane fuel. So I really like this setup. I love the EQT Vortex turbos. They're fun to tune. They always seem to work well, at least in my experience. And both the standard frame and the XL Turbo are a great option for your GTI. I highly recommend them. And if you would like to get your car tuned by me, I do e-tune these cars. You can reach out, tuning at edgeautosport.com, and be happy to get you taken care of. Or you can check out our website. We do have the e-tunes listed on our site for the GTI, the Golf R, the A3, the S3, and all that fun stuff. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Be sure and subscribe to our channel for more content like this, and we'll catch you next time. Hold up a second. I thought of one more comparison I wanted to show you guys before we end this video. A couple weeks ago, I tuned a GTI 2016. This is a 2018, by the way. I tuned a 2016 GTI with the Vargas turbo. It also had the MPI, same exact MPI setup as this car. And so I wanted to show you guys the comparison between the EQT Vortex and the Vargas. This is the final numbers for the Vargas on 91 octane. We did end up tuning on E60, but I wanted to show you like more of an apples to apples 91 octane comparison. As you can see, the Vortex turbo has a little bit flatter of a torque curve. It makes a little bit more torque in the 4,000 RPM range, and the Vargas turbo has a little bit more of a waviness to the torque curve, and this I noticed is because with the Vargas turbo, boost control was a little bit more peaky, I guess you could say, or spiky. Like you would see like little waves in the boost as it oscillates, and with the Vortex turbo, I don't get that as much. There's probably some things I can go in and try to clean it up a little bit on, like with some of the boost control settings, or the wastegate settings on these cars, but it is a little bit more difficult to dial in the Vargas to get that flatter curve. That's just something that I noticed. Between the two, the EQT Turbo definitely has a flatter, or carries boost flatter and without as much of an oscillation. Up top, we are running similar boosts on these setups, and the EQT Turbo is making a bit more power on the top end. As you can see here, we are at about 378, 380 horsepower at the top on the Vargas Turbo, and we're at 314 horsepower on the EQT Turbo. So decent difference up top, not so much noticeable in the mid-range. Spool is pretty much identical. Nears makes no difference. So I do think they're very comparable turbos, but my personal preference goes to EQT Vortex in this particular scenario. But anyways, I thought you guys might find that interesting. Now the video is really over. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.